The following program is rated M for meat.
I'm Ram Farma, penny pinching meat freak with one big problem.
I'm broke, but I still love meat.
That's why I'm taking a trip to find the absolute best affordable meats in America.
You want to go get some meat? Come on.
We begin in New Orleans for a Vietnamese-style po' boy sandwich that's just $2.85.
The cheapest thing ever!
Next stop, Vegas, where a barbecue duck quesadilla is only $3 a pop.
Seems a little small.
All right.
Finally, I dropped by Atlanta, where they're serving a Reuben that's seriously underpriced.
Just feeling this thing in my hand, it's about £1. What a sandwich.
Cheap meat's coming at you right now on Meat and Potatoes.
Hey! This Vietnamese bakery takes a New Orleans tradition and makes it their own at a price you can't beat. Cheap meat.
Located in the city's eastern district, home to a tight-knit Vietnamese community of more than 12,000, Dong Phuong Bakery and Restaurant features traditional Vietnamese cuisine with a New Orleans-inspired French flair. And nothing showcases this combination of cultures better than Dong Phuong's specialty, the banh mi po' boy sandwich, served on their freshly made and delicious French bread.
I've come all the way from Dallas just to get a banh mi sandwich at Dong Phuong Bakery.
They've got 17 variations of the banh mi, from fried pork to Chinese meatballs. And to top it off, every sandwich costs only $2.85.
The cheapest thing ever!
The brain behind this budget-friendly Big Easy bakery is owner Lynn Garza.
What are some staple menu items I'm gonna have?
Well, bread.
Bread.
You have to try our bread.
Okay.
Then after that,
Okay.
you have to try the meat
The
on
meat.
the bread.
Okay.
The po' boys. It's what's known here as the Vietnamese po' boy. And my favorite is the number 14,
The number 14?
which is the Vietnamese sausage.
All right, and I only have $3. Is that enough?
Oh, that's plenty.
It is?
It's plenty. It's $2.85, and with tax, that's exactly $3.
$2.85 for a whole sandwich.
Dating back to the 1920s, the po' boy sandwich once cost just 15 cents. Today's version can come stacked with anything from chicken to shrimp, or as is the case at Dong Phuong, house-made pork sausage.
We got pork butt there?
We got pork butts, exactly.
Is this the best to use, pork butt?
Yes.
Because of the fat, the flavor.
We grind it coarse. Then we're gonna add in sugared fat. Shredded pork skin.
It smells porky. Very porky. Now, what's that gonna do?
It acts like gelatin because we don't use a casing for our sausage. Garlic.
Minced.
We take the seasoned meat and run it back for a second finer grind. Then it's off to the mixer to bind it all together.
Time. Oh, it's heavy. How do you lift this by yourself?
That's why we have the wheelie thing.
Oh, sorry. Pork wheeling over here, squealing and wheeling.
Next, we add a mixture of sugar and baking powder, cornstarch, rice wine, fish sauce, and water. After it's all mixed together,
Use your legs, use your legs.
we run it through a sausage press to form links.
That fat one's mine. They just go right in the oven?
They just go right in the oven at 400 degrees
400, it's hot.
for about 40 minutes.
While the sausage is cooking, I get a lesson in how Dong Phuong makes their insanely popular French bread.
I need a hat so I don't get any hair in the food.
They sell over 40,000 rolls a week, each one starting as part of a 9-pound mass of dough before meeting its fate in the divider.
Squishes. Shakes. Done.
Then we roll the chopped up pieces into the proofer, which is just warm enough to allow the yeast to rise without cooking the dough. Each roll is run through a molding machine and then scored before receiving the restaurant's special treatment that keeps it crispy on the outside and soft in the center.
The secret is You give it a water bath right before you put it in the oven. That way the crust doesn't set until later on once the inside cooks already.
After the dough has had its bath, it's baked for 20 minutes at 220 degrees.
Look how beautiful that is. Crust, that's the key, listen. See, you hear that? So squeezy, so soft.
To make the banh mi sandwich, Lynn takes the freshly cooked bread, spreads homemade mayonnaise and a traditional mixture of hoisin sauce, pate, and peanut butter. Then adds our sweet and savory sausage, some jalapeno peppers, pickled carrots and daikon, and some fresh cilantro and cucumber.
$3. Let's do it. All the flavors that I'm getting are unbelievable. The meat has an amazing amount of fat. With the pork butt that we used and the fish sauce is slightly salty, all perfect mixed together. Taste the garlic in there and the sweetness from the sugar, perfect. The bread is moist. It grows around and hugs all the ingredients. It complements the ingredients and it's crispy still. It's a great variation of a po' boy if I've ever seen it. Dong Fong, you may be cheap, but you're rich in flavor all the way.
When we come back, we're doubling down in Vegas with 2 dishes that won't bust your budget.
This is a lot of work for a $3 quesadilla.
That's
man.
right, I know.
Then I take my taste buds south to see how the Reuben's been redone in Atlanta.
$6.99. Ugh. This is Vegas, baby. And when your luck runs out at the casino, roll the dice at Agave, where they're serving delicious meat for cheap. Meaty zing for very little cha-ching.
With its entire decor shipped directly from Guadalajara, Agave is authentic Mexican inside and out.
It's a taco cart. Woo!
Chef Matthew Silverman turns traditional Mexican dishes into unique creations, like the chili braised short rib taquitos and the rock shrimp chili relleno. But I'm here for Agave's Happy Hour, one of the cheapest in town. Tacos from the cart are just $2 and they're packed with the most tender chicken, steak, and even lamb.
With the lamb, they're not too gamey. They're really, really tender, and they make all their tortillas, so it's fantastic. Great flavor.
I'm dying to try Agave's best deal of all, a quesadilla stuffed with duck for only $3.
I love the duck quesadilla. It is primo.
Hey, Chef Matt. How are you doing?
Good.
Man, the casinos busted me last night, and I'm starved.
Came to the right place.
Great.
Why don't we go back and I'll show you how to make some items.
All right, man.
All right.
Thank you.
First up on the menu is Matt's signature quesadilla that uses duck he's braised in spicy, smoky chipotle sauce.
All right, so we've got our duck now. We've
Right.
got to take out all the parts that we don't want.
Yes.
We don't want the skin and we don't want the bones.
Right.
So dig in. They said
So-
you're here to help.
yeah, okay,
so
okay.
shred that meat up.
Yes, sir. Now, why don't we keep the skin? Is that just kind of give it too much fat?
You know, it does. It's got plenty of fat now and plenty of flavor, so we don't need that because it's a bad texture in the mouth.
Right.
Next, Matt whips up the duck quesadilla's special ingredient, barbecue sauce made with cascabel chilies.
Those are these right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Cascabel means rattle.
Means rattled.
Hey! Mariachi! The cascabel barbecue sauce sounds great. How do you make it?
We start with a saute pan. We're gonna add onions and carrots and sweat them down with a little bit of olive oil. Then we're gonna take some cascabel chilies that we've boiled in water to soften them up a little. We're gonna add that to it with some ketchup, molasses, red wine vinegar, and a little bit of liquid smoke just for that smoky flavor. Bring that to a boil and then puree it up.
I'm gonna gamble and I'm gonna go for it.
Go for it, you're in Vegas, might as well, right?
Here we go. It's great. It's great. It's sweet. Smoky,
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And then
and it does have some spice.
that's right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to mix it with a blend of cheeses. We've
Okay.
got Asadero, Manchego, and Jack cheese.
Right.
And we have a smoked cheddar cheese.
Why all the different types?
All give it different purpose. The cheddar is mainly for flavor.
Right.
And then you have these cheeses which are mainly for melting, so you
Yeah.
get that stringy effect that really good. Exactly. Makes the quesadilla good. You have to have it, right?
Yeah.
We've got our duck. We've got a little bit of green onions.
Yum.
And then we've got our Cascabel chili barbecue sauce.
Now, the next crazy thing is what we're gonna do to this. We're gonna wrap it in a homemade, like really homemade, like right now, tortilla.
That's right.
Let's do it.
So we've got two different types of masa.
Okay.
We've got a yellow corn and we have a blue corn. And it's what's used to make corn tortillas. Go for it.
All right. Here we go.
A little bit more.
Don't be such a wimp.
There you go.
Here we go.
Perfect.
Nice. This is a big process.
It is.
This is a lot of work for a $3 quesadilla.
That's right. I know.
All right, so we're gonna put some in the middle.
Yep, we're gonna put some right in the middle.
Here we go. How's that?
Seems a little small.
But it's $3.
Yeah, even at a tappy hour, you still gotta make it big.
All right, all right, all right.
Add
I
a
got
little bit
you.
more than that.
A little bit. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Make sure you got a lot of meat in there.
I'm trying to save you some money.
There you go.
There we go. How's that?
That'll work. Okay, so now use the paper and you're gonna fold it over and match up the sides.
Oh,
There you go.
there we go.
So you have a fresh corn tortilla filled with all that stuff for a quesadilla. We're gonna deep
Great.
fry it. It's gonna be crispy,
Oh.
a little soft in the middle still,
Right.
and you still have all that filling in there.
So
gonna be
it's
great.
not on the flat top.
Nope,
It's
just
fried.
deep fried.
Crunchy.
Crunchy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
$3. I'm in Vegas, baby.
Coming up,
How do we make these things?
we're letting it ride in Sin City with a dish that's even cheaper and just as tasty.
This is happy hour at its best.
And later, we're going to find the best deal on a great meaty meal in Atlanta.
You like it?
I love it.
Good.
More cheap meats when we come back on Meat and Potatoes. Meat in a pouch puts a smile on my face.
I'm at Agave in Las Vegas for Oras Locas, the craziest happy hour in town.
Food prices are great, drink specials are great, happy hour is great at Agave, so that's why we all come here.
So far, Chef Matt has shown me a $3 quesadilla that's stuffed with barbecue braised duck, then deep fried to crispy perfection. But I've still got a couple of pesos in my pocket, so I'm going to get the skinny on another happy hour fave.
So the lamb tacos, now that's not a traditional taco. Tell me about it.
I like the complexity of flavors to it. We're gonna top it with this avocado tomatillo puree.
How do we make these things?
Lamb taco starts with the lamb shoulder. You use the shoulder because with the bone in, bone gets all the flavor, you get everything in there. We're gonna sear it with a little bit of olive oil so it gets nice and brown on the outside. And then we're going to add water to the pan with some onions and garlic, and then we're gonna braise it for a long period of time, probably 3 to 4 hours on that one.
And that meat's gonna fall right off the bone. and
It's gonna
pull it.
shred right off and be tender
Delicious.
and great. When that's done, we're gonna saute onions, poblano peppers, red peppers, yellow peppers, and pickled jalapenos. I'm gonna take all that, saute it together with the shredded meat. We're gonna add a little bit of beer to it and a little chipotle sauce.
I love Chipotle. It's forgiving, it's not too spicy, and it's got an amazing amount of smoky flavor.
Matt places a heaping helping of the lamb mixture onto a homemade flour tortilla and tops it off with the avocado tomatillo salsa along with cilantro and onions.
Thank you for showing me everything. Great
You're welcome.
job.
Thank you.
Your happy hours definitely got me happy.
That's what it intends
Very
to do,
much
so good.
Wow, where do we begin?
Who knows?
Look
You
at
got
this
everything.
beast.
These tacos are out of control.
It's beautiful, and the greatest thing is I don't think there's more than $20 on the table. Delicious. Cooking these for 3.5 hours makes the meat literally fall right off the bone. And we infused it with a little chipotle, so it's got a tiny bit of heat to it, a little smokiness. The Cascabel barbecue sauce gives this not only spice, but flavor and moisture. The sweetness from the molasses, the spice from the Cascabel peppers, and the little acidity from the vinegar. It's perfect little sauce component.